BBC Radio Berkshire. I'm Brigitte Teta, keeping you company up until 9 o'clock. Lots coming, including the man who's made it to the list of the 100 top Britons, Black Britons I should say. Talk about airlines. Think high prices, perhaps poor baggage allowance. Well, members of the facilitators for Better Jamaica are accusing airlines of overcharging when it comes to flights to the Caribbean. In fact, some Caribbean states have been lobbying the British government against what they call unfair increases in air passenger duty and a tax on the cost of flights across the world. But actually, this group, the facilitators for Better Jamaica, say actually the biggest cost to passengers are the tickets themselves, not the tax. And so they are directly appealing to the airlines. They've got a petition together of 14,000 signatures, and Silbon Sadil is the man behind it all. He explained what has changed in his eyes with regards to fares and why they're so upset.
We normally can get prices to Jamaica and the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, for like £600, £700, £500. We're looking now like £1,200, £1,500. People are trying to go to Jamaica over the holidays here. We're getting like £1,600, they're talking about £1,200. These are phenomenal, very high price. Because of that now, my organization has actually decided to target the airlines directly instead of doing it from a government perspective in lobbying the government to change their taxes.
Is that because you feel the government haven't done enough so far?
I think it's a combination where the government hasn't done enough so far, but the government is also held in constraint because, you know, these are policy issues. We've got to call a spade, whereby the majority of persons who would be affected by the tax increase or reduction of the tax increase by the APD would be people from the Caribbean, really. And they're not the majority voters, so let's put it in a sort of perspective, really, at the same time. But when it talks about the airlines now, specifically, they're doing a lucrative service to the Caribbean, especially Jamaica. British Airways going to Kingston and Virgin going to Montego Bay, where they always have very filled flights each time. We're saying, well, might as well we lobby them directly to somehow hit them in the pocket, because that is where they would feel it. And if they do not comply or do not engage or negotiate with us to increase the baggage allowance, which was reduced from 2 to 1, get it back to 2, we are contemplating, or the Jamaican community is contemplating, a full boycott of these airlines.
Do you think that those airlines are really going to listen? Because, you know, ultimately, if you have family in the Caribbean, you will need to travel there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they may see this as quite idle threats, really, and that, you know, they might talk about boycotting the flights, but that's never going to happen.
Well, you know what is very exciting about this, actually, is the fact that we're found out that many Jamaicans already are boycotted by default already. When you look on the change.org petition, which is online now, which is near to 11,000, and the paper petition, which is near to 50, which is bringing it up to around 15,000. The online, many people are saying that we've stopped using Virgin, we have stopped using BA, we are now going via different routes. Some are going to Brussels, some are going via America, some are actually already putting action to the amount. So what we are doing as an organization and with some of our key strategies, we are actually amassing a lot of information and data as to alternative routes that we can direct Jamaicans and the Caribbean. So if we reach the point of boycotting Virgin and BA. Now, some may say it's a threat, but I don't consider it a threat. I consider it as people's power. I consider it as consumer power, whereby if you don't like that shop, you go to another shop. So, Virgin and BA have a right to do what they want to do. They may stop going to Jamaica when we just get new planes in the market.
You know, at the end of the day, you've got fuel going up, you've got the actual airport duties going up.
Yeah.
We have those who are doing the flights back and forth to the Caribbean, facing increased prices. And there's only so much buffering of the consumer in an economic climate that they can do. And so you might be asking something which actually is economically impossible.
You know, we were thinking on that, but when you look at today, you can get a flight maybe like £1,200, £1,500 because you want to go during the high season. And then you may look into the low season whereby you can get the same prices at £600, £700. And you check it out and say, hang on, the fuel is around the same thing. Fuel hasn't that changed much during the high season and the low season. Secondly, the tax didn't change at all because tax doesn't change in respect of that. So we're looking at the prices being doubled. And when we were even looking at some of the charges, on the ticket, you see the surcharge. We got this price, and we say, hang on, what is this? It's Australia. So we've got a strike journey, £600, £700 at all times. That's not fair if you're talking about fuel.
Well, finally, let's get back to the petition. You are wanting to hand this into the airline. So when is this going to happen, and what do you hope beyond that?
Well, what we hope to happen, we have said in our first initial consultation meeting on the 20th of September that we want to reach 10,000 first before we send the letter off and start the ball rolling. We've done that over the Christmas period. To be honest with you, we have said it twice. We have not had a response from Virgin. We have not had a response from British Airways. We've seen something in the Jamaica Times saying that they're saying that we should lobby the government regarding the tax. We are saying that it's ridiculous because the taxes do not make the prices that high. If it was the taxes, we would be okay. But to be honest with you, I'm happy with the taxes because if it is £500 and the taxes make it up to £583, that is not bad. So what we're saying, so we're bringing to them, and we want the petition to go to 50,000, and we're planning to take it around the country to where lots of Jamaicans are based, Caribbean, because the Caribbean is coming on board as well, to really put this out. And if it's a boycott, I'm happy. I mean, people are really fired up. I'm actually holding people back. We're actually holding people back to say, hang on, let's negotiate first with Virgin and BA.
That's the voice of Ffbj, who's one of the directors of Facilitators for Better Jamaica. So they are campaigning for a reduction in flight prices, and Virgin and BA may not have got back to Ffbj, but I've managed to get a statement from them. And let's start with Virgin first. Virgin say in the past, airlines flying between the UK and Jamaica have lost money, whether it be Air Jamaica until 2007, Virgin Atlantic on Kingston when we operated this route, or BA pulling off Montego Bay. We continue to offer a full range of fares on this route with discounts available for low season travel. These are still challenges can be attributed to the UK government's air passenger duty. We are actively campaigning to encourage the government to remove this tax, which punishes hard-working families, destroys jobs and damages the prospect for economic recovery. Well, both statements there from BA and Virgin. I wonder what you feel on this matter. Don't forget you can get it in touch. It's always